You can expect several positional switches to this Dublin attack, but this is the starting 15. Stephen Heine captains the team and will probably reside at full back. John McCaffrey and Shane Durkin are at centre field, but don't be surprised if all-star Alan McCrabb turns up in that area as well. Despite the volcanic ash in the air, David Breen has made it all the way from Scotland to be here in Parnell Park. Former Kerry goalkeeper Tadhg Flynn is protected by a full backline of David Lynch, Des Kenny and Shane O'Neill. The late Tommy Quaid's son Nicky is at left half back, while Newtown Shandrum star Sean O'Riordan starts at centre field. It's a battle for survival in Division 1 of the National Hurling League. Calling for it here is Simon Lambert. Gets it onto his favourite right-hand side and he smacks it with authority between the posts. Dublin starting brightly. Good balance, good stick work, had the time, no great pressure put on him. Took his point with ease. Certainly if this Limerick team survive and win this particular tie, it'll be quite an achievement. Nice little stick work by Sean O'Riordan. Now playing with Newtown Shandrum, and it's a great run by O'Riordan. He's going for it. There's a deflection and McGuire got it out. Here comes David Breen, well hooked, tries again. James O'Brien cuts it across the face of the goal at an angle, and it's the opening score for Limerick. A little bit of drama. What about this for a great run by Sean O'Riordan? Didn't get great power and it deflected off Heine. Gary McGuire had to pull in it first time in the air. Excellent goalkeeping. Kick forward by Brian O'Sullivan. First time it's Joe Boland wearing 6, operating at 5. John McCaffrey. Far side is Alan McCrabb. David Lynch with him. McCrabb makes an angle. McCrabb gets his second point. And even at this early stage, I can tell you, this man is going to pose problems for Limerick. You can just see he's that little bit sharper. Batted down far as David Breen. As Limerick now seem to operate a 2-man full forward line. Sending it along the surface. But Callahan leaves it on for Liam Rush. Rush uses the short grip and clamps it over the bar. That's a very good score. Ball running kindly for the centre half forward. Made a nice angle for himself. Couldn't be hooked. Got his point. Hit quickly by Brian O'Sullivan. But very good work by Graham Mulcahy despite that pressure. Lovely stick work and a very good point. 10 out of 10 for effort, 10 out of 10 for skill. Dropping in around the house. Loose ball knocked down. Half blocked. Simon Lambert chases after it again. Back out for his left half forward, Paul Ryan. Give him a little bit of space. It's a beauty. He applauds the pass from Lambert. The two Nevena boys combining here. Good score. Up towards Graham Mulcahy. Good work by Limerick. Good defending as well. Ronan Fallon chasing after Richard McKill. McKill's cross is more than a cross, I would think. It's a great point by Richard McKill. Up towards David O'Callaghan. Unusual for Gutsy, he just took his eye off it momentarily. Battling away. Andrew Brennan is there for Limerick. Picked up here by Liam Rush. Flicking it inside. Goalkeeper has to come out to mark the full forward. Over here it's McCrabb. And that's over the bar. 7 points this player has scored in the opening 21 minutes. This is his second point from play. For a moment, there was a goal opportunity on, but McCrabb wisely took his point. Sean O'Riordan dropping it in. David Breen is there with Steve Heine. Comes down for his Richard McKill. Scored from an acute angle a moment ago, and he's done it again. Fine point by Richard McKill. This ball comes down to the corner forward. You can see it was a very tight angle, never in any doubt. John McCaffrey, Andrew McCrabb, back to McCaffrey. Liam Rush gets inside the cover. Trouble for Limerick. Oh! Deflected over the bar. Let's watch this again. Liam Rush got inside the cover. Goalkeeper had to advance, so too Sean O'Neill. Good work here by Peter Kelly. Willing to take on Lorcan O'Dwyer. Good run by Kelly. Flicks it back for David O'Callaghan. Lovely little sidestep. And that is a beauty. You can hardly see it in Riverdance. The little jink from O'Callaghan. Watch it here. Going left, swings right, makes the space, takes the point. Dalo reasonably pleased, I would say, with the first half performance. Puck out by Tyke Flynn. John McCaffrey flicks it across towards Paul Rye. Sends it in towards Liam Rush. Will think that he can turn his man again. Succeeds in making space. Here's a point on its way. Second point for Liam Rush. Showing his class here. He's growing in confidence. Knows now that he is the beating of his man. And that's Dublin's 18th point.
Up the ground!
John McCaffrey here.
Mossy.
Morris O'Brien. Mossy did well. Puts his head down but loses possession. McCaffrey is there. O'Brien on the ground. Picked up instead by Graham Mulcahy. Coming in to challenge is Ronan Fallon. Linesman has informed the referee he would like to speak to him. There's a little bit of a brief chat, as you can see. And it looks like James O'Brien, who had just been spoken to by the referee, is now going to get more than just a chat about the rules, but perhaps a red card. Let's see what happened here. This is, keep an eye on number 12 here. Oh, absolutely, the referee is correct. Limerick now down to 14 and trailing by 12. It is not a pretty picture. Nice ball by Niall Corcoran. Calling for it to the far side with Simon Lambert. Good play, Dublin. Hard work paying off. Lambert at the end of it. Green lobs it in. Paddy McNamara is underneath it. Great catch. Brought to ground. That's going to be a free head. And Limerick need goals, and they need them quickly. Paddy McNamara will surely go for goal. Hits it well. Hits it into the back of the net. Hopping ball or a slither skidding off the surface is almost unstoppable. This is Graham Mulcahy. Crossfield ball aimed at Richie McKeown. A lovely stick work out of McKeown. Beautiful play, dragged to the ground by Traynor, and that must be a penalty. Well, I haven't seen Richie McKeown play hurling before, but he certainly is a star for the future. No question. For Limerick to have any chance, this has to rattle the net. He went for the same style of shot again along the surface. Stopped this time by Ronan Fallon. Here's Paddy McNamara's effort. Doesn't look very powerful, I must say. Didn't hit it greatly. Saved on the line by Ronan Fallon and cleared. Simon Lambert. Coming forward is Shane Durkin. Already scored a point for the first half. Doesn't quite connect here. Tyke Flynn. In comes O'Callaghan. It comes eventually after almost 52 minutes of action. The ball skidding off the surface of Tyke Flynn. In comes Dotsy. Back of the net. Good work by Joe Boland. Ronan Fallon. In towards the corner again. More problems for Limerick. And there's another goal. Long ball in far as Shane Ryan, cutting inside the cover, hit it past Hyde Flynn, giving the Limerick keeper no chance whatsoever. Good work here by Shane Durkin. Picked up by Stephen Heine. Moving out from the full back line here, floating this one in. Lovely combination play. It's Dublin all over the place. John Kelly receiving the pass from Peter Carton, and the combination would do justice to the Dublin footballers when they're really playing quality football, that is. It's a bit of a disaster. Runs on far as John Kelly. Over here is O'Callaghan. Brilliant strike. It's raining goals in Parnell Park. John Kelly to O'Callaghan to the back of the net. Lobbing this in towards Liam Rush. It's gonna be another one. Beautifully tucked away. It was a sweet ball in far as Liam Rush. Look at the short grip and beautifully placed. Sent along the surface to an attack that has certainly blossomed in this second half. Calling for it, requiring it, getting it is John Kelly. Inside is Paul Ryan. Another one! It's an avalanche. It's a nightmare for Limerick. It's a day to remember for Dublin. David Breen trying to gather it cleanly. Works some hard though, however. Brian O'Sullivan. Coming forward is Graham Mulcahy. Nice burst of speed. He could score a goal here. He does. Six goals and 30 points for Dublin. 2 goals and 10 points for Limerick. Ball is dropping in, ball is wide. The referee has blown the full-time whistle. He's had enough. For Justin McCarthy, it's been a bit of a nightmare here in Parnell Park. For Anthony Daly, it's the opposite end of the spectrum. You can see the smile because Dublin retain Division 1 status after a pretty impressive performance here on home turf. 6 cracking goals in the second half. They also scored 30 points to give a full-time score of Dublin 6 goals and 30 points. Limerick 2-11, a 31-point victory for the Blues.
They're very, very young. Like, you go through our 6 forwards today, like the half forward line, like sure 3 garçons, like, you know, and Liam Rush inside, like, not long out of minor. So some people in the media, I think, expect a lot, as if it was a magic wand or as if you could flick a switch or something. So it's all a matter of working and looking at your tapes afterwards, learning from what you did, what you didn't do, trying to improve guys all the time and step it up. And look, eventually I think Dublin will make the break. Whether it is in my time or not, I don't know, but I think the talent is here and the approach is in the right place here. So that's the ingredients are there. It's a matter of keeping moving up the ladder all the time, keeping pushing on and keep challenging ourselves to get better all the time. That's what it's about.
So Dublin making no slip-ups and holding on to their Division 1 standing, but that became truly a horror show for Limerick in the end. Tomás Mulcahy and Declan Ruth with me here in the studio. Tomás, very important for Dublin to retain their Division 1 status. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, a word about Limerick. There was something at stake today. It was their worst performance in the league.
Yeah, one Sunday newspaper described it today as Dead Rubber Sunday for these National League games, because an awful lot of them were going to be meaningless games, and this was the game that we expected to have all the bite in it. I mean, there was your National League status, Division 1 status at stake here, and certainly it certainly wasn't Dead Rubber Sunday, it was Massacre Sunday in Parnell Park, because they were absolutely destroyed and annihilated, you know. And
Declan, you'd fear for Limerick, unfortunately, for this panel of players, because they're going to play either Cork or Tipperary in a Munster semi-final in June.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be impossible to pick yourself up for that match. They have an awful lot of work to do, but I mean, they're a limited bunch of players. Let's be honest. And without the household names that are outside the panel at this stage, you really fear for Limerick and the future. Not just this year, but how are they going to come back and rectify the situation here? It's really a logjam at the moment.
Okay, I suppose we've talked a lot about Limerick on this programme through the league campaign. Let's talk, Tomas, then about the Garsoon Jackeens, who did extremely well, obviously, today. Got off to a great start.
Yeah, a bit of a Garsoon like Anthony Daly himself, I suppose. And I mean that's why I meant that there was something at stake. And certainly Dublin put down the marker earlier on, right, that we want to remain in Division 1. We want to get on top of Limerick very, very quickly. And this they did in the first half, And you had some excellent points from Simon Lambert. You've Alan McCrabb coming up here, another one, and the movement in that Dublin full forward line particularly was unbelievable, and they took the Limerick defenders all over the field, And I mean, they were at 6 of the 7s, getting free pucks, And I mean, it's not something that you put down with senior inter-county hurling. I mean, they're the basics of the game, that you've got to be marking men, you've got to follow up, and look, I mean, it's too many free pucks, it's too easy, and like, they're near championship conditions today, And I mean, okay, you can say at the start of the league it's difficult conditions. Today you had a fast ball, nice firm ground and stuff like that, and they were just left absolutely annihilated, And I mean, picking her up for a Munster championship is going to be very, very difficult indeed.
It is, there's no doubt about that. Dublin have, I suppose, had problems trying to get goals in matches. That's the one little thing that I know Anthony Daly's been trying to improve. They certainly had no problem with that today. You've picked out one of the best of them. Yeah,
I picked out the best of them. I mean, we mentioned about a goal blitz, and like 20 points to 8 at half time. They certainly had 2 or 3 goal scoring chances in the first half. But their play, I mentioned a couple of weeks ago on the show that they're very hard to beat in Parnell Park. They move the ball around, they put it into open space. They have a lot of runners in the team as well, And I mean, this is a great movement, and it's excellently finished. I know Limerick were down to 14 men at that stage, but you have to practice these things in training. You must do it on the training ground, and then you must put it into practice when you get to match situation. And certainly getting 6 goals today, I'm sure he'll be delighted with that. I mean, that they finished off those opportunities very, very well.
And Paul Ryan getting that one that we saw there on the screen. There was a sending off in the match today. Now, the first thing we have to say here is the referee gets one look at these things, and he can only see what he can see. But I'm sure when he looks at the replay, he'll see another side to this.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've looked at this again, right, and I think it's the linesman here is actually is flagging the attention of the referee. And I mean, you see it in question here when the ball is being picked. I think it's Maurice O'Brien picks it up for Dublin, right, and he's coming out here, and watch when he falls on the ground. Watch the reaction from Maurice himself. I mean, that's a wild swipe, and straight away, I mean, you see it again in the replay. Watch the hurley off on the ground. He's on the ground. Watch the swing. I mean, that is a wild one-handed swing, right? So then the reaction, this is where the other O'Brien, and as Micheál Martin said, no relation, James O'Brien comes in and with the butt of the hurley, and he was rightly sent off. I mean, that was a red card offence. But
that was the part of it that was seen, I suppose.
That was seen, but you had a linesman, Michael, who flagged for it, and he didn't. He let the first man get away with that tackle, which maybe should have been a yellow card, if not a red.
All right, Tomas, thanks for that. Right now here on Sunday Sport, we're going to take a commercial break. Still to come here on the programme, we'll be having a look at today's meeting between Kilkenny and Waterford at Nolan Park, and we'll also be reporting on how things worked out in Division 2. So stay with us for all of that. Commentator is Ger Canning.
Kilkenny welcome back Michael Cabinet to right corner back for his first game of the season. He's one of 8 changes to the team which saw off Limerick a fortnight ago. Eddie Brennan returns at centre half forward, and the corner forwards today are Michael Grace back from suspension and Owen Guinan getting his chance at top of the left. By comparison, Waterford name a completely changed 15 after their last victory at home against Offaly. Chief among their changes today are a first start for the year for Tony Brown at number 6 and the reappearance of Ken McGrath for the first time since last year's All-Ireland semi-final, which was against the Cats. Anthony Stapleton of Laois is in charge. It's Kilkenny who won the toss and play from left to right in the first half. Final league game of the season then for both of these teams. And Johnny Ryan, the linesman on this near side, signalling that it's going to be a Kilkenny sideline cut. Midfield this afternoon for Kilkenny, Charles Fitzpatrick and Derek Ling. John Tennyson hitting it well. Stephen Daniels goes across, covers, but doesn't deal with it adequately. And TJ Reid is onto the loose ball and puts it straight over the bar. Opening score of the match then comes in the 3rd minute. And it's the Kilkenny captain, TJ Reid, pouncing on the error. That ball should have been cleared. Runs on there towards Owen Larkin. Nicely controlled here. Taken in by Guinan. He has the shot and he puts it over the bar. And that will do the corner forward a whole power of good. A second point for Kilkenny, and there are 5.5 minutes gone. Stephen Daniels played in last year's club final, Portumna against De La Salle. Tennyson. They hold on to it here with Michael Grace. Going for the shot himself. That's a good-looking shot. Michael Grace has done well in recent seasons. Was sent off against Cork, and that was a real blip. But he's got a lot of class, a lot of ability, and he'll be pushing for a place come the championship. Tommy Connors can't hold on. It's going to be a line ball to Kilkenny. Well, the first 11.5 minutes have just borne out what many people have felt. A more experienced Kilkenny team going in here against largely experimental Waterford, and that's put into the back of the net by Michael Grace. He's got a goal and a point. Well, the floodgates could open, and you fear for Waterford even at this early stage. 1-4 to no score down from the sideline cut. Should have been dealt with. Cornerback and fullback are completely cut out, and Grace one-handed into the back of the empty net. Aidan Carney was floundering. Goalkeeper came, beaten by Grace, and it's 1-4 to no score. Again, there's no getting through that half-back line, even without Tommy Welsh in there. And here comes Michael Grace, anxious to show everybody in Kilkenny just what he's about. Got a lot of genuine qualities. That was a little short. This time it's out to Liam Lawler. Started the campaign in the league as the number 3, then lost his position. Waterford looking for their opening score here. Will John Milan provide it? Shortening the grip on the stick and finally putting it over the bar. And there are 14 minutes gone. John Milan gets number 1 for the afternoon. Well, it's no more than Waterford needed at this stage just to give them a little bit of confidence in themselves. They've been on the receiving end. Imagine Davy Fitzgerald is saying to the squad players, I'm giving you game time this afternoon against the League and All-Ireland champions. See what you can do. And at this stage, they're watching, and they're really suffering from Kilkenny. TJ Reid from a massive distance out puts it over for his second point to make it 1-6 to a point. And there is simply no Waterford response so far. Very unconvincing defending. Richie Hogan stepping in here. He's come back from a nasty hand injury. Michael Grace is out on the corner there for the last 30 seconds. Let's see where this move is going to finally be completed. Maybe by the team captain this year, TJ Reid, striking it from the sideline and putting it over the bar. It was a move that didn't look like it was going anywhere. Over in the corner for quite a while and back out to the man from Ballyhale eventually, and he said enough of this and put it straight over. 1-7 to a point. Back by Kelly this time. Returned well by Derek Lee. Up as far as Owen Larkin. Stylish turn, and that's a classical finish. Lovely score. And he becomes the third and final member of the inside forward line to score this afternoon. The only one of the forward 6 not to hit the target so far is Eddie Brennan. This was really classy play by a brilliant player. Maybe Waterford will get into it yet. John Tennyson again. Shane Welch playing it back here. Shane Casey blocked down, back towards Casey. Trying it again. This time John Milan, and John Milan puts it over the bar. And John Milan gets only Waterford's second point in the game so far. And the more this goes on, the more you begin to realise Waterford's old heads, the Browns and the Milans, how vital they are to Waterford hurling. And Waterford with an enormous task on their hands here, playing from left to right in this second half. Up towards Michael Grace. Tony Brown, mishit. Ends up being a free out anyway. Owen Kelly standing over this, having got a point already from a free. Dropping it well in. Again, collected, but not quite cleared. And that is finally put over the bar, and that is a great deal better and marks the return of Ken McGrath as a senior player on the inter-county scene. Player in difficulty there was Paddy Hogan. McGrath availed of the chance. comes to Ken McGrath. Ken McGrath has certainly tried to come more into his own, but he was robbed there brilliantly by Eddie Brennan. Ken McGrath was ready to place the ball. Paddy Hogan with the shot, and Paddy Hogan has got the point. Great score by the new centre half back, Paddy Hogan. Sent off here for 2 yellow cards against Galway, but he's a player of genuine quality, and that is 7 points he's got now in this year's National League. Kelly standing his ground again, and the referee whistles him back, and he's going to give the free to Waterford, shaken ahead by Eddie Brennan. So more target practice for the Waterford man. That's going right. Mullumphey keeps it in. Now an important intervention here. Can Waterford carve an opening? They're going the long way towards Kevin Moran. He took it in his stride. Start of the season at centre half forward, and that finishes over the bar. Very fine point indeed by Kevin Moran. Well, now Waterford have managed to get themselves a 7th point. That wasn't easy. Had to get inside and get away from John Fitzpatrick. Well struck. Ken McGrath was adding to it. Mullumphey's in there to pick up the pieces. Go forward strongly. Comes off the side of a Kilkenny player. Bounces out to John Mullane. Mullane got 2 points in the first half. Inside towards Kevin Moran's got 1 in the second. And it's going to be a free in. Oh, where did that foul occur? Let's see what we can see here. This ball is knocked in there by Kevin Moran. Well, the ball was in the air. Yeah, the referee has given a penalty. Penalty so for Waterford, and Owen Kelly the taker in the 56th minute. He'd go for a goal here surely, and he's found the net. Owen Kelly, 56 minutes into the game. Penalty goal for him, and that's another one for Owen Kelly, a 4th goal of this National League, and it's all of a sudden 114 to 1-8, and there's still time. Well, now what does it say about Kilkenny? They were ahead by 11 points at half-time. The difficulty, I suppose, in a way, was that they were up against basically a second Waterford team. Now they've got to raise their game again. Can they do it? They can. Michael Grace has got a goal and 2 points now. His first score of the second half. Well, that's a rapid reply, because the penalty goal for Waterford came out of nothing. So here comes Moran once again. John Mullane striking, and John Mullane cracks it over the bar. A 3rd point for John Mullane. And Waterford have brought on Seamus Prendergast in place of Shane Welch. As we watch this in reprise, it's 115 to 1-9. Eddie Brennan loses it to Brian Phelan. Tony Brown now, rocking it down the field, all the way in there towards the new man who's come in, and that is Seamus Prendergast. Breaks here to Owen McGrath. John Mullane going to hit it and put it over the bar. Another one for Mullane. That's 4 points for John Mullane this afternoon. That time the pass by McGrath. That's Owen McGrath. On for Mullane. Another for him. Mullumphey. This time it's going to be an individual score if he makes it, and he does. Stephen Mullumphey has put in a very honest, energetic second half. The team captain, of course, didn't start the day to give others a chance. Back to a 6-point difference again. He's collected it again. Brilliant handling by Mullumphey. Spooning it on here. Kevin Moran. What a goal would do here. Whoa, that's brilliant. In spite of the best efforts of PJ Ryan, it ends up in the back of the Kilkenny net, and they have conceded another goal, this time from play. Just watch, Mullumphey's handling of the ball was brilliant, and he dished it off here to the De La Salle player, and in spite of the goalkeeper's stick getting to it, it ends at the back of the net, and it's 118 to 212. It's getting closer. 3 minutes left. Now Owen McGrath swept in here towards Seamus Prendergast. Is there another score in Waterford? Will they cause heartbreak for Kilkenny once again? Ken McGrath maybe. The ground stroke. Oh, it's gone whizzing and fizzing up into the air, but wide of the intended target. Great chance. And Seamus Prendergast, another old warhorse for Waterford down the years, into Ken McGrath. The ground strike just misdirected. Again, a scramble for possession in the middle of the park. Weary looking players at this stage, given their all in a very exciting second half. Eddie Brennan now takes off, getting away from Declan Prendergast, has a player outside him. It's Owen Guinan trying to step inside, and he puts it high and over the bar for his 5th point. It's another one for Owen Guinan, and there's the final whistle, and Kilkenny finished their Alliance Division 1 programme with victory here. Waterford, when they brought on the experienced players in the second half in particular, gave a good account of themselves, but Kilkenny had just enough in the tank, ahead by some 11 points at half-time. It finished at Nolan Park. Kilkenny 1 goal and 20 points. Waterford 2 goals and 12.
Obviously everything gears towards the championship now, and Leinster's going to be very, very difficult this year. I'm not sure how today's matches went, but I know you have a lot of competitive teams in Leinster right now, and that'll be our first option. Leinster semi-final is all we're looking at there now, and so we'll put everything into preparing for that. But the championship is going to be very, very serious. There's so many contenders there at this stage that there's something very much for hurling supporters to look forward to.
So Kilkenny clock up their 4th win of the league campaign, and both counties, as Brian said there, now turn their minds to other matters. Declan, there mightn't be too much at stake obviously in that match today from a league point of view, but for Brian Cody and for Davy Fitz, still a chance to do a few mind games with the players.
Yeah, well, I think even Brian Cody, I think the league wasn't under their list of priorities today, or for the year, sorry, and neither was Waterford, let's be honest. They've tried out a good few players, and I think Davy will be happy enough. The likes of putting Eddie Brennan out centre forward, again, it's just trying to mix it up a bit and, waking up lads a bit like that. But I think they'll both have got a bit out of the league, if not as much as they might have liked.
You want to mention one player today for Kilkenny who put in a very good performance. Yeah,
TJ Reid. I mean, he's the captain this year, and he's going to be the one who's going to be expected to be one of the leaders, because like with Ballyhale for the last few years, himself and Henry have been the 2 main leaders. And he took off some superb scores here today, picking up from his Ballyhale season, and he's one of the guys. Now there's a few other guys there, the likes of young Owen Guinan, Richie Hogan, Michael Grace. They're all very lively. John Mulhall had a great league, but they're really untested, I suppose. TJ has proven pedigree, and he's the one I think Kilkenny will look to step into the breach and be one of the new sparks and one of the new kids in the block come championship time. Sorry. He's all around game. He's very, very good to field the ball. He's a great strike left and right, and he links up well with all the players. And he's a guy who, he'll fit in there seamlessly into the Kilkenny attack, no problem to him.
Has the skills, no doubt about that. Let's talk about Waterford. You saw good things in Waterford today, and then some other things that weren't all that great.
Yeah, I think in the first half they were probably still over in Malaga or somewhere like that in their warm weather climate, because their first touch and their general cohesion today was very, very poor from 1 to 15. See there, just an easy ball was missed again on TJ Reid there, popped over that ball easy. We're very, very lethargic all over the place, and again, little balls like that missed. Fitzpatrick nipping in there, like those, obviously championship hurling, that should have been launched down the field into their very, very good forward line. Again, the second half, when they really got into the game, they used the play, but they had to bring on their bigger guns, the Kevin Moorns, Seamus Pendergast, Mulhall, these guys. They made the difference, and you can see they're just using the ball. The first half was just helter-skelter stuff, but generally in the second half they got going, and it just goes to show what they can do. They found a couple of players like Kevin Moore particularly impressed me all league, and again here today when he came on, he was one of the main instigators of the Waterford fight back. And bar like Ken McGrath at the end, he had a very, very good chance. That would have brought him back level. And I think they would have went on to win the game. But Davey will be happy enough. He tried out a few lads, but I think, again, both managers will have to come back to basics from the championship.
All right, Declan, thanks for that.